Moment of silence for the champions, for those who make going hard a lifestyle. Never wait for nothing, gotta get it right now.
What's up, Packer fans? Welcome back to Cheesehead Talk. It's your boy Tramel, coming back with another video of the NFC North Division Profile. And in this video, we're going to talk about our division rivals, the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings finished 2018 with a record of 8-7-1. They really should have finished 8-8. We really beat them in that Week 2 matchup at Lambeau, but it is what it is. They finished the division second place, and they missed the playoffs by one game. They lost the last game of the season to Chicago, which eliminated them from the playoffs. And going into the 2018 season, a lot of people like myself had high expectations for Minnesota when Kirk Cousins joined. I thought that they could go back to the NFC Championship or possibly the Super Bowl, and that wasn't the case last season. And Kirk Cousins just proved last season that he can't win the big games. He doesn't show up big when it matters. He can beat the bad teams, but he doesn't show up against the good teams. And that's been a story for his whole career. And they also had some problems with the offensive line as well last season. Before the 2018 season started, their offensive line coach, Tony Sparano, passed away. Rest in peace to him. And I believe that had a big impact on their offensive line going into the 2018 season. And then they dropped in a lot of categories as well in 2018. From 2017 to 2018, they dropped in a lot of categories. And you take a look at them on the offensive side of the ball in 2018. They were 30th in rushing. They were 30th in rushing. The year before, in 2017, when they made the NFC Championship, they were 7th in rushing. So they dropped big time in the rushing category. And then in the passing category, they finished 13th. So they were in the middle of the pack in the passing offense. And then total offense, they finished 20th. When the year before, in 2017, they finished 11th in total offense. So they dropped big time in the offensive category. And that's one of the reasons why they missed the playoffs. Now you take a look at the defensive side of the football. Their defense was still good in 2018, but it just wasn't the same as it was in 2017. And you take a look at their stats. They were 15th against the run in 2018, and the year before that, they finished 7th against the run. They were a harder team to run against in 2017, so they dropped a few spots down in 2018 against the run. And then in the passing defense, they were still pretty good. They were 3rd against the pass in 2018. And they finished 4th in total defense. They were still a very good defense, but it just wasn't the same as 2017. They gave up a lot more big plays in 2018. And you take a look at them in 2019, they're pretty much the same team. They only lost Andrew Sendejo. He's now with the Philadelphia Eagles. And they almost lost Anthony Barr, who made a verbal commitment to the New York Jets. But he changed his mind, and he stayed in Minnesota for 4 more years. And they fixed up their offensive line through the draft and through free agency. That was their biggest hole in 2018, and they fixed that up a little bit. Like I mentioned, they're pretty much the same team. They have the same core that they've had over the last few years. They have a lot of talent on this team. They have Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. I'm going to give him 1 more year to see if he can beat the big teams in big games. I'm going to give him 1 more chance because he does have a lot of potential. He has some star potential. He could be one of the best quarterbacks in this league if he can win the big games. They also have running back Dalvin Cook. He's a very solid running back. He could be a star in this league as well if he could stay healthy. They also have Stephon Diggs, who's a top 10 receiver. They have Adam Thielen, who's a top 10 receiver. They have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. They also have Kyle Rudolph and Irv Smith, as I mentioned. They could be one of the best tight end duos in the NFL. You take a look at the defensive side of the ball. They have the same core. They have Danielle Hunter. He's a top 3 defensive end, and he's very underrated. They also have Everson Griffin. He's another great defensive end. They have Linval Joseph in the middle. Then they have Anthony Barr. They have Xavier Rhodes. He's a top 10 corner. Then they also have a solid number 2 corner on the other side in Trey Waynes. And then they have arguably the best safety in the NFL, Harrison Smith. I believe it's Earl Thomas, but Harrison Smith is in that conversation. So they have some great players on both sides of the football. And if they could stay healthy, they have a very good chance of winning the division in 2019. They really don't have much depth behind those guys, but the key for Minnesota in 2019 is staying healthy. If they could do that, they have a real good shot of winning the NFC North in 2019. They really have a lot of great individual players on this team. And I think they're going to have a bounce back year in 2019. Like I said, as long as they stay healthy, they'll be fine. And I think they'll go right back into the playoffs after a 1-year drought. But that's my team profile for the Minnesota Vikings. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and also follow the social media on Instagram and on Twitter at Cheesehead_talk. Again, that's Cheesehead_talk. Go Pack, go.